So
For me, I actually, as I read the book back in college, and I'm a big sci-fi buff, and I'll be honest, I actually didn't care that much for it. Like Tripp said, it's a little bit of an info dump. I thought it was way too long. I thought, and this is me. Back then, I was a budding author. Right now, I am an author, and just looking at it from that perspective, I was like, gee whiz, which is kind of funny because I feel like a hypocrite. That's one thing I love about Lord of the Rings. I love all the exposition and all the info dump, but for some reason, I just didn't like it in Dune. I feel the same way about Rendezvous with Rama. I didn't like that book for the same reasons, but so going into this, not really caring for the book. And by the way, I don't think it's a terrible book or it's trash. Just wasn't my taste. But so going into the film, and even not really being that big a fan of Denis Villeneuve, I went in. So I kind of went into this almost with a negative attitude. But then I walked out of it I felt my expectations were met. I felt like I had a good time. I thought the soundtrack was a little intrusive. Hans Zimmer departed from his sort of classical arrangement that he does and went more for an industrial sound, which, by the way, with bagpipes. Which by the way, there was a YouTube channel I saw, and they did a really good analysis of Hans Zimmer's score of Dune, and the name of the YouTube channel escapes me, but anyway, it was. I thought that was kind of interesting for Hans Zimmer. I saw an interview with him where he said he did that on purpose. He wanted the soundtrack to be different, and he succeeded in that mile. But I just thought at times it was just kind of intrusive. It was kind of like in Zack Snyder's Justice League when Wonder Woman did anything, she sneezed and they would play her theme song, and I was just like, "Oh my gosh, yes, we know."
that was a bit much.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't that bad, but I just felt like every chance they got,
it was that bad.
These bagpipes, and I was like, "Okay, I get it."
I don't think you can overstate how bad that was. Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because one of the things that I've read is that some people thought that Hebert wrote it as a counter to Asimov's The Foundation, which is, Foundation is, in the future, and it's like, was that Asimov? I'm sorry, did I?
Asimov, yeah, you're right.
Oh, okay.
I just, as a counter to it, strikes me as odd.
Well, it's because The Foundation, I've only read the first, by the way, I've only read Dune, and I've only read the first Foundation. I've never read any of the sequels, so... But I felt like The Foundation was trying to present like a more scientific future, right? The science...
It's very technocratic.
Right, yeah, exactly. And Dune, it's more like a feudalism. So he was saying, whereas Asimov was saying it's going to be more like a techno future. It's going to be there, and science is going to save us. Technology is going to save us. Right. Dune is saying, no, that's not going to happen. We're just going to keep repeating the same old mistakes we've always made.